what we're doing here is we're going to be building up our builds for the raid as we're doing it this Saturday. And as you can see where our resources are right now, let's kind of keep track of this. So we only have 148 carbon fiber here. So we're at 148 carbon fiber, and we're only at 558 steel. We're only at 620 titanium. So let's make a little note of that. We'll say 652 titanium. We are at 558 steel. And the real one we're really short on is the 165 carbon fiber. Now this carbon fiber is what you're going to need to fill up your items up to level 11 or level 10 on your gear. So you're going to need a lot of carbon fiber. You're going to need a lot of polycarb in the first 5 levels. Then you're going to need a lot of resources down here that are even harder to get, like the exotic components, and of course up here at the top, which is your field is your shade calibration, and of course your field recon data. And these are harder to get unless you have a big watch score. These can be hard to obtain. Now, you can always go to your characters. You can break down a character. If you don't have 4 characters, you can make a 4th character. And of course, your watch score is going to match what your current watch score is. So if we broke down this character, which is our number 4 character, and started over New York, with a little help from friends, we could get through it in, say, 2 to 3 to 4 hours. And we would have a watch score of 1,506 shade level to use. Now, the first 800, of course, goes to making the shields, offense, defense, utility, handling. Everything else would go here. So what's the bottom line would be 4,306 scavenger tokens. And when you're this high or higher, it's well worth getting that to generate more items so you can go up. But the bottom line is, once you get above 11, when you're leveling up this these items to level 13, 14, 15 here, 16 there, 18 there, you're going to have to need exotic components, and that's a lot trickier to acquire. So just to let you know that that's what we're gearing for today, and we're just going to go do the regular conventional way without breaking down a character. Now again, you could, within 2 or 3 hours, you can have all you wanted for a little bit, because you're going to go through resources fairly quick in this new proficiency system. So now that we're geared here, we to just show you how expensive this gets. The weapons are even more expensive on the side of upgrading. So this shotgun, to get to 20th level for our rock and roll, we need 10 components, 30 field recon data, and we need 20 shade. So it gets really expensive. So if you look over here to the King Breaker, which is only level 12, it still has the same thing. When it gets up to 20, it's going to require 10. But just to get up to 13 requires 3 more components. So you can see that really takes its grind here to get through. But when we're looking at something like the gear set, to go up to 16 level requires 3 components. To go up to 17 requires 3 more. 18, 4, 19, 4 more, and then 20 is only going to require 5 exotic components. You add that all up, it's 19 components to get this from 15 all the way to 20 and get ready for the raid. The reason why it is so important to get these up. So when we look at this build, the build that I call Elvis because of the King of Rock and Roll, it's got 2.0 million armor, a little bit plus that, closer to 2.1. But if you look at the Catharsis mask, it's got a 20% armor bonus. We go down here, that's 17 total, that's 37. Add another 14, that's 51. Here's 63 here, 77% bonus, and then a 15 here makes that 93% bonus. 93% bonus, if you're adding that up at home on a 2 million build, is another 1.86 million armor. So our base armor basically with this set is setting around 4 million. Now when we can increase with our stacks up to 100 stacks, thanks to us running this chest piece which makes our stacks 100, we can get up to 100% bonus armor on top of that. So we're setting at 4 million, just under 4 million. Another 100% would be 8 million armor. That's craziness. And here with when we start running in the Catharsis mask, we can sit there and repair some of this max armor 5% with the cloud, and at 4 million, that's 800,000 armor that we're going to fix in 10 seconds. It's really awesome. And if anybody else is running this kind of build and runs into that cloud, wow. Or maybe 2 of you drop the same kind of cloud, running identical builds here, run into that cloud, that's going to be 1.6 million armor fixed right then and there. And you're not even realizing it because it's not a healer build. So adding this proficiency to your gear is really important, and especially when you're running a all red build that's somewhere in 700,000. If you're able to max this out and get the 120% armor on that 75k real squishy build, now you're running more like 1.7 million armor. You just turned that all red blue build into something that's equivalent to this all blue build, and that's pretty awesome. And hybrid builds, you can just imagine how much that's going to improve. So what we're going to do here in this live feed is we're going to turn on the stopwatch here, and for the next hour we're going to see how much we can get just doing conventional run through of what I call resource running. So we're going to start down here. We're going to hit the 10 parachute run and see what we end up. Now we kind of started this a little bit before the video, so this first one has already been taken down. We realized we had the wrong guns and the video was not rolling. As you see the green stuff, see, we hit this first one right there, And we're really not going to try to engage too many people unless they really do something to us. Throwing our gun to run a little bit faster. Here's the second one right there. And you can see down there on the left side when it pops up, there's 14 steel, 7 carbon fiber. Those are both things we're really looking for.
Agent in need of backup.
Now you can jump down here. There's a few things underneath here. Not a bunch. Again, these yellow toolboxes are going to give us the carbon fiber we're looking for. The orange sports bags is going to give us the steel and the titanium we're looking for. And the black boxes are just going to give us more components that we can use to level up our skills. So there's a little bit more carbon there. Go ahead and hit that box as well. So there's some more carbon. We'll run on the outside here. And we can go in here and have a little bit of fun real quick, since this is a elite control point. Again, our build has 3x12 elite protection from elite mods, so we like taking on these yellows more than we do, say, the reds or the purples. Build up that bonus armor there.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
And when you're dealing with these big guys, right there at the waist, you can kind of see their armor's missing. And then circle around to the back. Puts it down real quick. And we're going to have 3 chests here to open. Replenish our ammo. And of course we can break this down. There's 4 more blue.
You are now group leader. Another agent has joined your group.
And Spoofenstein joined us here, one of our friends. How you doing? Yeah, I can barely hear you. So we're doing a little supply run here. We're doing some supply run for the live feed. Show how much we're trying to see how many resources we can gather here in an hour. We're doing our long run with some detours here to acquire some of these skill resources that we need to level up our raid builds for tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Dark Hours raid with a bunch of people, so we want to be able to get our red builds up with all that bonus armor since we're 20% efficiency. So even though we're not going to be able to get them all the way up to 20, you know, getting the 6 sets up to 10 at least is 60% bonus armor. And that's really going to make a big difference on those builds that are squishy to begin with. It only got 800,000 armor, 60% bonus on top of that. We can do a quick math and run the 60% times the 800,000, and we can see that we're going to get another 42,000 in armor on that, and then that makes it more look closer to more a hybrid build. 1.1, 1.2 million armor, and any little bit helps, especially if you're running something that's going to really hit hard like glass cannon, something like that. You want that armor. That might be the difference between surviving and dying.
Detected.
So we're just showing people how we can get resources without doing the quickest way, not the quickest way, but the biggest way is to break down a big character. So when you have a big watch score like mine, you can break down a character or make a new character, and then you get that whole watch score to utilize. So that would be 51,000 or 5,106 levels right now. So that would be the real way to get a lot, but people watching the video say like you, which is only 840, that's still going to help you, but it's not going to help you as much as if you had a real big watch score. So these little things right here, these are real quick since we have Spookenstein in here, and we can do this mission real quick. We got 3 directives on this world, so we'll do this mission real quick, earn some XP, get a little bit bonus, and again with this build being as strong as it is, it's a walk in the park, right? There's the key we were looking for.
Override required. Progress resumed.
And one of the bonuses right now, this targeted loot right here, is a True Patriot, which is a green gear. So when we break that down, we're going to get 5 extra of the blue stuff, which is really what we're looking for and what we've kind of been shorted. The titanium, the carbon fiber, that's the stuff we kind of need. So again, on these little boxes down here, we're looking for the sports bags, the orange sports bags, and the yellow toolboxes. The yellow toolboxes are going to give us the stuff for the weapons, and then the like there, that's steel and titanium there, and then of course we're looking for these resource drops that are hanging from the trees here, and we're hitting 10 of those. So here's number 6. Yeah, you can get some resources of breaking down this gear, but it's kind of random. But again, when you're in an area where you're dropping this green stuff, that's going to break down to anywhere from 3 to 6 of your blue items, your titanium, your carbon fiber. And we're heading for number 7 down here, hanging from the tree. And remember, if you remember this track, as soon as we hit this one, we go straight south down here by this little stone house, which we're going to find the last 3 boxes. And here's number 8, and that was, for us, it was polycarb steel and electronics. Got this gearbox here, and again another true patriot. So even though it's only 4 of titanium, electronics, and carbon fiber, it does add up. And the last right there. So since we're kind of here, there's the carbon fiber we need. There's another little area right over here by the entrance to the tidal basin that I like running. And as we cross over to this line right here, we're crossing over from still into the West Potomac Park. So it depends on what the targeted loot here is still the true patriot. So we still have a chance for the green stuff dropping, which is good. But anytime you open a faction crate, you have a higher percentage of getting an exotic, which is always good. And we have a ton of black tuskies, so we can open this crate here. And when you're running with friends, there's there's 4 of you there. If the group is full, you have 4 chances of getting an exotic out of here. No exotic for us. Maybe Spookenstein got one, hopefully. And there's always a smaller chance of something dropping from any crate you open. So be mindful where these crates and resources are laying around the world, because each one can potentially be something that you need. So that kind of completes our run on the long one. There's a bunch of resources here around the tidal basins. I know there's a lot of yellow toolboxes right here. There's a few sports bags around the helicopter, and those are, again, what we're looking for. Again, there are only a few here and there, like that's only 4 polycarb. But when you hit so many in a short period of time, it really adds up. And again, you can only pick these resources up once a day, but if you have multiple accounts or multiple characters, you can run each one each day. So we have another territorial control. Again, this is a real easy, quick mission. We got a multiplier times 3 because we're running the 3 directives, which is going to give us 75% more experience than if we didn't have any at all on. We got a name guy over here, so for Spookenstein, if he doesn't have this person's card on the deck of 52, that'll help him out. Of course, we've completed our deck of 52 a long time ago. Of course, we got a gear crate that's always hanging there.
Incoming hostiles detected.
And the more you get familiar with these missions, the more you know where the NPCs are going to spawn out of, and you could literally camp where they are. So if you have like foam or
Access key detected.
like the shock traps, you'll know where to throw those down to kind of hold up your enemy and make it real easy for you to just breeze right through those.
Heavily armed. Hostile supply convoy nearby.
So, running the directives we have a slight problem here. So we can't. We're trying to look for this last one, and there it is. There's almost 200,000 experience right there, and we get another green gear to break down. And again, that adds up. There's 12 more titanium and 12 more carbon fiber that we're looking for. And look here, we got another great way to get XP. For those who remember a year or two ago when this was all the rage to find these Warhound convoys, because again, if you know where they're camping out of, you can camp the respawn area and you can be right on top of it as they come up out of the ground at you. And you can breeze right through these events real quick.
Incoming hostiles detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts. I don't feel right.
Go back to the Warhound, we pick up
Detected hostile supply convoy. Heavily armed.
that, and again, 250,000 experience that quick, just in a matter of a few hundred seconds. Now, when you run low on food, this is probably the second biggest farm on the game of concentrated food that you can find. And there's our restock of our ammo. There's a gearbox all the way up here, up at the top. And again, you want to open these up, especially when you're hunting these resources and you're in an area that's dropping green gear. That's those 4 or 5 or 6 drops of all the blue gear really add up. Not saying it's not a grind, because it is, but it if you know where to get these items, you can really build it up. So we're about 20 minutes into our scavenging for resources, and let's take a quick look. As you look up here at the resources, remember we were only at 588 steel, and we are already up 108 steel. Polycarb's only up to 329. Titanium we've been doing real good up. It's up to 752. And these, a lot of these are randoms, little toolboxes and the orange sports bags. Those are pretty consistent other than the numbers. It's usually 3 to 6. Depending on, but you can guarantee what's going to drop from it, what kind of resource is going to drop from it. And I do believe there might be a little sports bag somewhere here. Kind of lost in the fog here. Okay, there's a crate hanging from the tree. Again, another 250,000 experience, just that quick, just for clearing out 4 NPCs, because it was elite patrol. Now another way to get these resources, and this is even better because again we're looking for those exotics in the long run, and we want to open as many faction boxes as we can, and you need faction keys to open faction boxes. And this is one of the best runs, if not the best run, for keys. So there's a hyena for me. What did you get there, Spookenstein, on that one? So it sounds like we need to take Spookenstein here and run through where there's a bunch of these faction boxes to open. So and again, there's a lot of little resources in this area, but the main thing is have you been down here today? There seems to be some glitching going on those, so might want to take that. And here we got some cannibals. Only thing in the game it kind of has, from time to time, gave me a little goosebumps because these guys are so quiet. Say what? It's a rock and roll. AC 12. Well, it's got 19% proficiency on the proficiency system, so it's got an extra 19% weapon damage on it. So yeah, it's smacking. Yeah, yeah. It's named AC-12. It's a DZ exclusive, but you can get it from name caches. Of course, it'll drop from the countdown. So if you do countdown and you select shotgun, which is a good way to get exotics, because you can hit Sweet Dreams, you can hit Scorpio. Those are the. It's a good way to. And everybody loves the rock and roll right now. What the rock and roll does is the talent on the rock and roll is it's perfect. It has perfect extra, so it has double or 50% extra magazine capacity. So instead of having 14 shots, it has like, I don't know, 30. It holds 30 shots. So the only problem is when you only carry around 178 rounds of shotgun ammo, you go through shotgun ammo pretty quick. So you almost need a box every 20 feet when you're using that. And because I'm running the specialization technician, of course, everybody that's followed my channel kind of knows the rock and roll by now. They're probably sick and tired of hearing about it. So there's no excuse not to run it. To me, it is the best build out there, but I'm very familiar with it right now. And this all blue build really smacks. And we got a True Sun's key. We definitely needed that one. You open these chests in the Dark Zone for gear. It's not something you really want to do solo or when you're at a low level, because there's just so many people that when they play the Dark Zone, you know, some people play this game basically for the PvP, and you know that was supposed to be the end part of the game anyway. You know, once you got everything up through playing the game and the storyline, then the PvP was the ultimate test on how well you had built your build and all the pieces you put together. I've talked to a lot of people my age in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and they seem less inclined to be out there competing against other people, and sometimes it can get real toxic. And now some people will try to goad you into the reason why you like PvE over PvP is because you're not really a good player, and that's just hype or bait. You know, there may be some people that, you know, don't want to go in the Dark Zone because they're really not good at it, but for the most part, yeah, yep. Right. And I understand that, and I totally respect that. I do a little bit of everything, but by no stretch of the imagination do I call myself an expert on PvP, or it's not what makes me enjoy the game, per se. Where I get the enjoyment out of the game is literally helping other players. I really do. You know, becoming good at...
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Now this is the disadvantage of running Fall Go War. And when you get one of these guys that run off in the distance, you don't have your mini map up there in the corner to kind of figure out which way they went. So you just kind of. But again, it adds 25% extra experience, and the more directives you can run as you run through your content, the more XP you're going to get per, the bang for your buck. So let's take Spookenstein over here and see if he's got this little item over here. Now again, you guys know that I have all 4 of my characters, so as I just gained a level there, I just gained 4 shade or resource. Do you have Lincoln's top hat that's up there on top of that statue? Okay. And again, because there's green gear, we'll break that down. So now we're going to fast track over here to the Truman Safe House, and we're just going to do a short run. And then the rest of the hour, what we're going to do is we're going to hop to all the safe houses that we've already opened. Each safe house has about 4 little, either the sports bags or the yellow toolboxes or the little black boxes hanging down there, and we can pick those up real quick by just going there. Then we can also donate the extra resources that we've acquired. We're full of food, we're full of water, I think we're even full of components, so we can donate that to the control point officer, and that kind of keeps more control over a control point for a longer time. Ah, and there, look, exactly what I talked about, the Merciless. Awesome. There we go. There's an exotic. We break that down. We're 1 step closer. That means we can level up one of our guys. Now, for those who don't have the Cassie Mendoza, there's the Snitch. One of the favorite places to find him is right back here. Oops. I gotta shoot the lock off the back. So you jump up here on this truck right here, tell Spoofenstein to wait down there, and you shoot the lock off the backside, and then you can run down there, go through the doors. And why do we do that? Because we want to go up this fast rope to the top, and we're going to go back here where, look, they're one of the 39 orange crates that hang from trees here in DC is right there. And we have a weapon crate there. And a gear crate here. And we're going to kind of run this in reverse. Here's one of those sports bags that we really need because that's steel and titanium. We need both of those to upgrade our weapons. The first 10 levels, the first 5 levels, we need steel and titanium. The next 5 levels we need titanium, and then after that it's all exotic components. So there's more titanium. There we go. Yep. And then the third one is over here.
Target near you.
More carbon fiber. And we have the quick mission we can run and do. I'll just kind of stop here to do this. Let's quit breaking down this gear and just give to Spookenstein to donate to his proficiency level. So now they'll either spawn out of this manhole here or the manhole over here.
Access key detected.
See this manhole right here? So Spookenstein's going to go over there and he's going to regenerate that, and they're probably going to come out of that manhole. It could come out of the other one just south of us.
Progress halted. Manual override required.
I can.
Progress resumed. Detected. Location guarded by hostiles.
And see, here's the advantage of knowing the game and the game's characteristics. We're not even letting them get out of the manhole before they're dead. And this makes it real easy.
Override required.
No chance of dying when they can't even get up high enough to even take a shot at you. So we got some specialty ammo over here, which is incendiary rounds.
Hear you, Agent.
We completed our mission. There's another 200,000. We got a yellow toolbox over here, which again, that's that carbon fiber that we're looking for. So now we want to switch weapons because there's another specialty ammo over here. So instead of doubling up on it, we switch weapons. So now both weapons have specialty armor, and our last crate is right there above our head. So carbon fiber, steel, and ceramics for me. And again, it is random of the 6 items. It will always be 2 of 1. It'll never be all 3 blues or all 3 yellows, but it is random. It'll be at least 1 green and at least 1 blue, and then the third one will be random. So we hit inside here a little bit. There's a few black boxes. I think we're maxed out on food here. Yep. And then we're done in here. Outside, going back up the street, there is a bike rack here that's got a yellow toolbox in the middle. Right here, and again, that's something we're really looking for because it's polycarb and the carbon fiber, and that's going to help us get our gear sets leveled up. There's the toolbox for our weapons. Back here is black boxes. And there's our real quick reversed run resource small runs. So now if we look at our map, we got 1, 2, looks like 3, 4, we only have 4 control points here that we have under our control. So we're going to fast travel to Navy Hill. We'll wait till Spookenstein gets in here before we open these crates. He's here, so we can restock on our ammo, and we can open any crates that's right here in the immediate facility. Now right here where you usually get the bonus where you can open up this crate when you first acquire control of the control point, there's usually 4 different boxes. So here it was a yellow toolbox there, a black box here, a orange sports bag, and I think another black box. And then sometimes there's some immediately on the outside, like here's a black box. And again, even if you don't need those resources, you can use these resources. If you're not 20th level proficiency, you can donate those resources to get each item, especially your skill items and your specialty weapons. You can get those up. Or say an item like the Stinger, the LMG that you get from, you can only get from recruiting another player into the game. That Stinger is a specialty weapon that you can only acquire during that process. Or like the chill out mask that you could only get this Christmas. Is one that you can gear that up even though you don't have something like that. So There were 2 yellow boxes, an orange sports bag and a black one there, so we got that. And the other thing you want to do is you can come out here on your world and donate here to the control officer, and you can donate these resources, the water component and food, since we're pretty much maxed out on it anyway. And that gave us 46,000. But because we filled it all up, poor Spookenstein here doesn't get to do that, so it's full up. We'll let him do the next control officer, which we're going to Eclipse Fuel Depot, which is in the just south of the White House. We're going to hit that one up, and then we're going to hit the one that's north of the White House and hit a small supply run up there. And at the 41-minute mark into our getting resources. And remember, if you have multiple accounts, you can do this on each account, or you can do it once per day. So again, another reason to have all 4 accounts through New York, so you can get these resources and share them. And if once you have your accounts made, if you went to the White House, excuse me, and seen Anaya and paid the small pittance in credits, you can share the resources across all 4 of your characters. So we'll have Spookenstein come out here and donate to this control officer here, and see that he gets some experience for donating that. Spread the wealth, not being greedy. And then we're going to fast travel to the vault, which is the control center, control point north of the White House, still in the White House area. And again, just a few little resources, but it's easy to get. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was real good because there's 2 sports bags, and we want that steel and titanium, again, to level up our weapons. Okay. I'll be getting off here around 8:30 to go to work. It's my Friday night's my last day, then I get the weekend. Tomorrow, if you want to do some raids, have your raid build ready. I'm going to try to get a video between now and 1 o'clock tomorrow out there of suggested builds to run during the raid. We are doing the Dark Hours raid. Got a lot of Dark Hours keys, and we're trying to get people that elusive Eagle Bear. Okay, see you later. Okay, wait. So for you YouTubers, Spookenstein's going to take a lunch break, and we're going to go around this corner. Right around this corner in this alley is a few resources. There's a sports bag, and if you shoot the lock off of this gate, there's a weapon crate and
Agent has gone offline.
it's just a weapon crate, and then if you look up, there's an orange crate right there. Sports bag. Food.
Categories. Match. Item of interest. Detected. Hostile broadcast. Detected. Ski detected.
There's our item of interest. A John Adams picture. 14,000 experience. Just that easy.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Ready to kick some ass.
Control point detected.
Where's the hostages? There they are. Okay, and that's our resources on the control points. So 48 minutes we were able to generate. We gained a level or two, and we generated. Let's go back to our notes. So we started out with 652 titanium, and now we're up to 800. So we gained 230 titanium. We gained just under 300 carbon fiber, and we acquired 270 steel. As you can see, we're really maxed out on the protective fiber. So we could have used that if we weren't totally proficient on our proficiency. We could use that to level up items. So breaking this down really gets us nothing. So at that point we might want to, if it wasn't for breaking down this blue gear, we might want to sell those items instead and make a little bit of credits. So this one we're going to keep and sell instead, or wait till we've used some of those up. But we'll break those down for the blue gear. And again, that adds up. So we went up 3 levels. So we were able to open these up and acquire whatever we get out of those as well. And we can add this to our proficiency too. And this really adds up. So on this carbon fiber, or we can use the recon data, we'll use that to bump that up for the 3 levels. And as we can see, let's do this real quick. We'll jump over here to another character and I'll show you, and we'll top out this hour. So as we go through our characters, so we went up 3 levels with that character, and you've seen we were able to use our watch.
Entering safe area.
So the same thing applies here. We went up those 3 levels from 106 to 109, and we can use these 3 as well. So there we go, we're at 40, and then we switch to the next character. And because we have the new generation Xbox, we
Area
can
detected.
run through these fairly quick. But I do recommend if your character jumping a number of times during a day, to give your computer a break. When I say computer, your Xbox or PlayStation or computer a break, reset it, kind of let it the counters reset on it. They get confused because remember, each one of these characters has its own counters. When you're talking in computer terms, what you've done, what you haven't done, where you went, what you've done on that character requires counters to keep track, because everything is either on or off at the minutest level when it comes to digital
Safe
technology.
area entered.
So it's just a bunch of on and off and gates, stuff like that. So again, we're going to use this to bump up our carbon fiber, and then we're going to jump back here to our retro characters. So those 3 levels we went up on character number 4, we were able to jump over to character number 1, 2, and 3 and utilize those. So we are able to generate 12 scavenger tokens. So the 1 for each level, 3 times 4 characters is 12 scavenger tokens, and we used a little bit on one thing and the other. So we used one on to level up some of our missing shade and research field data, and then we used the rest on carbon fiber to kind of boost that up. And the reason why is we want to get these brand sets or things we're going to be using in our raid tomorrow. We want to get that as high as possible when it comes to proficiency. So let's grab a few of those items to show you what I mean. So we have the coyote mask here at 13. We should have probably broke that one down and just concentrated on this one mask, and that's going to be a key. We got the tardigrade up to 11, and the Ridgeway's Pride probably could use a few levels. So why don't we grab the Ridgeway's Pride, and we'll show you what it can do. So we go over here to Ridgeway's Pride, and what we do is we can see we got all these we're maxed out on our weapons weave. We have enough polycarb to get through level 5 with this, but we're going to be struggling back with that carbon fiber again. So there's 1 level, 2 levels, and now we're into level 6 through 10, and as you can see, we no longer need polycarb, we just need carbon fiber. The weaves that we get for breaking down gear, and then of course we need the research field data. But again, polycarb is our weakness there. That's what we need. But we got the Ridgeway's Pride up to 7%. So that extra 7%, especially on a red, is really going to make the difference, as you can see. So if you only have, say, 80, let's round it off to an even million. You got a million build, which is a low-end build, or 800,000 build. 7% armor is going to add to the 8,000 build, is going to add another 56,000 armor. So that's really good. And if you do that on each character, each gear set, or each gear item, and you get it up to 10%, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% extra bonus armor. So when you start adding that up to 1,000,000 armor, it's actually 1,000,006. So, and you start getting these up to 15, you got 15, 30, 45, 60, 65, or 75, 90% armor. So you're almost doubling your armor there at 15. But again, it starts taking a lot of exotic components, and it really adds up. So that's why we were glad that we ran into that one exotic that Spook and Sign was able to open. And now we can break these down if we want to, or we can go over here to the vendor. And we can go over to sell. And we can sell these if we want to. So we can sell these items.
Agent in need of backup.
And even though it's only 2,281, at least it is that. And because it's Friday, like I say, we can see Cassie Mendoza over here. Where'd she go? She's over here today. We just seen the vendor. We visited the snitch or the gun runner. And now we can run over here and see Cassie Mendoza.
Object of interest detected.
Run downstairs here. And guess what? There's the Boston Massacre. Now, for those who don't know, the Boston Massacre picture is actually a depiction of a famous black man. Was the first one in that group, and his name was Crispus Attucks. He was shot and killed by the British soldiers along with a few other colonials, but he was actually a freed black man that got shot by the British at the Boston Massacre. Just a little bit of FYI trivia there. And that's what Cassie Mendoza has today. Contractor's glove, scalpel, shield splinter. Shield splinter here you only see if you got the hunter mask from DC, and then the hunter killer if you got all the hunter masks from York City. But that's pretty cheap for a named gear to come here and buy. If you don't already have it proficient, you can come here and use some of your credits to buy shield splinters and then donate them for your proficiency. So there you go. You can see that we can grind through some resources fairly quick and obtain items. Again, the other way is going through your account and doing the dailies, gaining levels. And when you gain levels with 4 characters, you're going to be able to use those scavenger tokens to get resources. Or you can break down a character, start a new character, get your character through that watch score, and you'll be able to use your scavenger tokens on your watch to build up resources. And again, if you got a good team that's helping you make those characters, there's I would say there's no reason not to have 4 characters at this time, but that's always been true. But right now, more than ever, it's really important to have all 4 characters. So that's the resources today. I hope that helped you out. We're going to run this through, so I'm going to start a different video on running the dailies and Stranded Tanker.
infiltrated
I
their
hope you have a
complex.
great day.
A lot of peacekeepers are dead.